Hello there, Scorpio. So today I'm doing a no contact reading for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. My name is Julie from tarotbymooncrystalmagik, and welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. So we've got a no contact reading coming through for the zodiac sign of Scorpio today. So I drew a few cards before because I really felt called with the energy here that there's somebody in this collective who has a no contact situation, and there's someone trying to get through. And the first cards that I drew were the Nine of Swords, which is showing me the energy that this person, your person, is actually really up in their head at the moment. They are dreaming about you, you're really on their mind. You're coming through in their dreams, full on. Then we have the Moon and the Four of Swords. So to me, this really feels like your person here who you're not in contact, there's no contact at the moment, I'd say. There seems to be some kind of like illusion around it, and there's a lot of regret. Their inner feelings are starting to come out now. It's like they can't just forget about you. You're on their mind all of the time, and it's actually becoming something that's really in their face at the moment, basically, because now that they're actually dreaming about you as well. They've got guilty feelings, they've got feelings of regret, and yeah, I just feel like you need to have some kind of a reading here to connect with their energies. So let's see what else comes out for this no contact reading, Scorpio. Okay, no contact for Scorpio, please, Spirit. What messages do you have here, please? We want to know what's the energy surrounding this person at the moment? What's their energy at the moment? Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles. To me, sometimes a bit like the Three of Cups, this can indicate that there's been some kind of like a third party thing going on. So they could actually be in a relationship with somebody else at the moment, but you are coming through strong for them. Then we have the Page of Wands. So they really want to come forward at the minute. They've got feelings at the moment. They're feeling very passionate about you, maybe towards how you were together with your chemistry. And it's looking like there's going to be some kind of a message or communication coming through from them. They want to, but they're just trying to actually get the confidence up at the minute to make that contact. Now, if they're still in a third party situation, obviously that's no good, but it could be that it was a third party, and that they've now broken away from that. And so that's why they're wanting to start to reach out to you. That's why, your energy has really come back into their energy and connected with them, and they're really wanting to reach out to you. Okay. What else are they feeling at the moment? What's the energy of this no contact at the moment, please, Spirit? Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles. So yeah, they're just at the moment, they're trying to really get the courage up to make that first contact with you, because they're pretty scared. Yeah, they're pretty scared to reach out of what your reaction is going to be. So let's keep going here. What's the reason why they've been quiet all of this time, Spirit? Okay, so they're feeling very left out in the cold at the moment. They're feeling like even if they're like with friends, or out of the pub, or out doing whatever, even if they're surrounded by people, they're still feeling like they're on their own. They're feeling very lonely, very left out in the cold. And then you have the King of Cups, so they're really wanting to come in with this new love offer for you, but it's like, it seems to me that this breakup that you've had has actually caused them to have a kind of a turnaround, and so now they've actually been doing some work on their own emotional ways, trying to transform themselves, and they know that they can only come back into you if they come back in with this energy of the King of Cups, which is giving you their all, not giving you breadcrumbs, basically. Okay, what else have we got here, please, Spirit? What else is going on with this no contact at the moment? What's their energy at the moment surrounding the collective, please? Okay, so we have the Empress. So to them, this was you. To them, you are the Empress. You are everything. You're nurturing. you're beautiful, you're passionate, everything that basically they wanted to have in a person is you. And this is how they're looking at you now. This is how they're dreaming about you. This is all of the good things that they're looking back on as to the person that you actually are. And that's how they're viewing you, as their empress. And, you know, that's what they want to come back into. And the Queen of Pentacles here. So we have the Queen and the King of Pentacles here in the reading. So this shows that they're feeling like, you know, you are like a soulmate to them. They're feeling like they've got a real, or you did have a connection, and that they just ignored that at the time, and they're realizing it now that they don't have you anymore. And so, you know, this is the relationship they want to come back into with you. Okay, then we have the Hanged Woman here. And the Hanged Woman is saying that, you know, they've been looking at things from a different angle. They've been looking at things from a different perspective, the way that the relationship went. And they're actually realizing now that the things that they probably used to get nitty-gritty at you with were just exactly that. They were just silly things. It was their own projections of their own issues at the time. And now they've done some work. But we've got the Death card. They've had a complete transformation, spiritual growth, you know, a new beginning even, but it's a definite transformation that they've had now. And that's probably because, you know, sometimes people think the grass is greener on the other side, and then they'll make comparisons. So, you know, whatever it was that they went into after you, they realized that what they had with you was completely different, and it was something special, and it was something that they want to rebuild on now. Okay. What action are they going to take? What action are they going to take? Are they going to come forward for the collective here in this no contact? Because is the collective going to be hearing from them soon? Okay, so here we have the Nine of Wands. So I feel like they're very much trying to get their strength up at the minute. You know, they're trying to get that courage forward so that they can come in. You know, they're very much feeling very passionate about you at the minute. They've got a lot of passion. There's a lot of chemistry in this relationship in the past. And so how they're feeling now is they want to come back in. They want to reignite that passion. They want to reignite it, but they need to get the strength up to do it. And then we have the Page of Cups. So an offer coming in. They're definitely coming in with an offer, and it's a message card. So you're going to be receiving, I would say, action coming forward. You know, maybe in the next couple of weeks, you will be receiving some kind of communication, whether that be a text message or whether that be a phone call or an email, but they are going to try and contact you in some way or another. Okay, and it's going to be a romantic offer coming in. They're probably going to be a bit I'd say with these Wands cards here, they're going to be quite passionate on their way back in. They're going to, because they're going to be so nervous, they're going to come in like all on. They're going to come in like fully like trying to remind you of the chemistry that was in your relationship before. Yeah, but they do realise as well they need to have a bit of a different way of being around you now. They really do need to have that more nurturing emotional intelligence with the cup cards that we've had out here, the King of Cups as well. You know, they do understand that that's what's needed here. They can't just expect everything to just go back to how it was. Okay, right. And so what are their intentions towards the collective, please, Spirit? What are the intentions? Okay, intentions towards the collective for Scorpio here, please. Okay, we have the Hermit. So basically, you have been sitting in this mode. You know, you've been a bit in hermit mode since this relationship. So they know that they can't just come rushing back in, you know, because you've been doing your own soul searching as well, and they've been doing some of theirs as well, because they've been mirroring you. So as you've been sitting back and reflecting, doing the inner work, that's what sent them into this like a soulmate type situation or twin flame thing, where you do the work and then it kind of like mirrors and reflects straight back onto your person, and then it causes them to lift their game and they do the same. So they've been also reflecting and doing some soul searching. So, you know, they have been doing a lot of work, but I feel like, you know, they want to come in, they really do want to come in with a message, but they're very much torn as to how to do that. They've been also spending a lot of time alone, and they're just trying to work out the best way for them to come back in at the minute. Okay, and now what advice is there for the collective regarding this? I'm going to get my other deck out in a minute and see what we can go with that as well, and get some more answers for you here, Scorpio. Okay, so the Four of Wands. So it's like, this is like a celebration card. So it's like a celebration card. Basically, it's saying that you're going to feel when, you know, you're going to feel when they do come back in, it's going to make you happy. You're going to feel like it's a celebration, it's an achievement. Things are going to be much more harmonious than they were before in the past. It's not going to be the same kind of relationship, but you know, this also depends on yourself and the energies that you're putting out, Scorpio. Look, we have the Two of Cups. So this is like the soulmate card. You know, the pair of you both feel like that's the connection that you had, that you were soulmates. Beautiful card, beautiful energy. Okay, what other advice do we have? Six of Pentacles. Okay, this is like a feeling of like generosity, of like giving. So like they know that when they come back in, they have to give you all of themselves. They have to give you the responsibility, the reliability, the loyalty, all of it. But they're going to come in with gifts for you as well. They're going to come in with like presents, literally. They, you know, they may come in with something financial, financial offers, wanting to move in with you, you know, wanting to really set up home with you, that kind of thing. They're going to want to come in like sharing what, you know, sharing with you, sharing what they have with you. Okay. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. So they've been growing a lot. They've been growing their finances. They've been growing whatever their occupation may be. It's been growing, and they've been, you know, doing some hard work, and they're just starting to see some real fruits of their labours now, and they're wanting to share that with you. They're wanting to talk to you about it. You know, they're wanting to share that with you like they used to do, you know, because they're really missing you a lot. And look, the Fool. So yeah, they want to start all over again. They want a whole fresh start with you, collective. They want to have a whole fresh start with the Fool. They want to take a leap of faith. They want you to take a leap of faith in them. I'm going to get my other deck out, and we're just going to have a quick see for some advice from my Witch's Tarot here. We have some advice for the collective here of what they should do when this no contact comes back in, which it's looking like it's going to come in. I'm not going to say it's coming in fast, because there's not any indication that it's like a fast moving, but this is what's going on with them at the moment. Like, this is what they're dreaming about. This is what they're wanting to do. You know, they're all up in their head at the minute. Like, you're all they can think about, full on. But then this is a scenario that they want to play out. They want to come back in, you know, they want to start all over again. They want you to give them another chance, a leap of faith, a fresh start. You know, I do see here they can be a bit of an impulsive sort of person, a bit carefree. That's just something that's probably in the nature. That's not something that's going to change. But if they've started to grow some like emotional intelligence and some maturity about them, and they've realised now what it is that they actually lost with you, then I feel like they are actually going to make a different kind of an effort this time round. Okay, again, we've got the Hermit. So now this is what's representing you at the moment, collective. So the Hermit here, like you're at the moment coming out of a time of soul searching yourself after this breakup and this no contact, and you're shining the light. You know what's going on, what's happening. Have been doing a lot of soul searching and a lot of reflecting yourself. So you know, you may even not want this connection again. You know, you may have come out of your hermit phase saying, I'm not interested at all. There's a bit of Virgo energy going on in here as well, with the Hermit coming out twice. Often when there's two different decks and they pull out two cards the same from two different decks, it's like there's a real message there from Spirit. So we have two Hermit cards from two different decks here. This is my deck, by the way, by Tarot by Mooncrystalmagik. I created this deck. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, so with the two, just saying it, with these two Hermit cards, it's like universe, Spirit is just trying to give you a real, it's like a lesson has had to have been learned here, and that lesson is, you know, that you do need you do need to have time alone. There are times in life when you need to just reflect and, you know, not have outbursts, not have conflict. Sometimes you just have to go within and do the soul searching within, when you're in a relationship, and not always just be coming straight out with something before it's been thought through. Or, you know, let's see what other advice have we got here for the collective, please, with this no contact. How should the collective deal with this no contact relationship coming back in for them? Okay, the Star, it looks like this is something you've been wishing for. You've been hoping that this person's going to come back in because you also haven't been able to get them off your mind. So you've been wishing for them. And so basically your wish is coming into fruition here. So it looks like this is something that you want to have back in your life. So this is a really good, actually, no contact reading here, Scorpio. It's, quite a very positive, they've done the work, you've done the work. So, if you both come back together, having both done the soul searching and done some work, some self-love, all of that. And look what we've got again. We've got a Fool again, so that's 2 Fools. So again, as I say, that is Spirit giving us a real definite message here. That you're on the right track because you've got doubles here, but it's also like lessons that you need to learn. So it looks like, you've both had things that you've needed to learn. You've both needed to do the soul searching. You needed to be apart for this amount of time so that you could come back together in a much more healthy way. So look, the Fool is saying not just them, but you also, you need to take a leap of faith with them. You need to take a leap of faith into this new beginning with them as they do with you. Like, that's quite a beautiful no contact reading, to be honest, Scorpio. Sometimes you get a lot of no contact readings and, the person's just still an arrogant bloody prick or whatever. But this one's showing, Scorpio, that this person you've been in no contact with, they really are wanting to come back in the right way. So now it's just up to you if you're going to take that leap of faith with them. I'd say you're probably going to hear from them. Like, normally my readings, they're fairly quick how they, come into fruition from these kind of predictions here. So I say in the next few weeks, you'll get some kind of communication from them. As I said, they've probably already been watching you on your social media. You may have had them blocked and you've unblocked them. And so now they're looking, maybe they're looking from someone else's account, even if you have got them blocked. But they have been having a look at you, checking out, see if you're with someone else. What's it like? Can I get back in? What's the situation? What are your situation at the minute? And it's going to be fairly fast now. I'll say in the next few weeks, you're going to have like a text message, a phone call, or some kind of indication that, they're wanting to come back in and connect with you again, Scorpio. Okay. So if this reading has resonated with you, please like and subscribe to the channel, Tarot by Moon Crystal Magic, and then we will go again and we'll have another no contact reading next week and see what the progression is. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you subscribe and I shall see you next week. Thank you, Scorpio.